everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well during these chaotic times, especially with all the Russian and the Ukrainian war going on. Just a friendly reminder in case you happen to have a boyfriend or a significant other who is currently clapping for Putin or super happy about the war, I have to say dump him. Not only because this guy has no financial asset, also because he's just a pile of crap who lacks humanity. I mean, why would you keep someone that is poor and has no sympathy for others? Don't ask me how do I know it. It's a friend's story. Okay, now let's get comfortable. Throw on a blanket or make a hot chocolate or hot cocoa as you want. And we have a lot of crap to talk about. And just like that. To say I was super excited about this reboot series because I rewatched the 6th season of the Sex and the City during the COVID, because what else am I gonna do, right? So just like that, started with a typical brunch scene in New York with this reunion ladies, of course with their fashionable outfit and the witty banters. So it draws you right back to the original series, like it's refreshed your memory instantly. So the funny part is, remember there was a lady in a gray suit yelled at Carrie in the public, and it was so out of blue, like all of the 3 girls has no clue who that is, but this girl is definitely no Randall. Because remember, in the original series, Carrie has a friend, Susan, who married a really mean man. So once Carrie went to her house to pick up her, birthday gift, and the guy yelled at them and blame her for taking guests to their house when it's that late. So later on, Susan asked Carrie, like, hey, what do you think? And she's not happy. And Carrie's like, oh, I think you should consider leave him if things doesn't change. But eventually Susan got back with his boyfriend. Haven't talked to Carrie since. I mean, it's really interesting to see how the girls' relationship can deteriorate based off their relationship advice they give to each other. I mean, of course you love your friend, but from the bottom of your heart, if you think this girl is not quite logic, or she can't really think through things with a reasonable head, be a nice girl and leave the choice to them. Let them make the decisions, because the least thing you want to see is you give them your honest opinion and only they came back to you and blame you on sabotaging her relationship. In the previous Sex and the City, it doesn't really give us a closure, like how the friendship ended with Susan. But the first episode is actually pretty obvious. I mean, I didn't realize who that was when the lady just yelled out of the blue. Maybe she thought Carrie had a good intention, or it's pretty open to interpretation at this point. And honestly, I really enjoyed the first episode because it's nice to see those familiar faces and to see how they aged gracefully in their 50s. I only wish Charlotte can go easier on the Botox.
Emotional damage!
Overall, it gives me an innocent and try to play a safe vibe. But in the last minute, oh my god, just like that, Big died. I'm like, this could get interesting. But no offense to the Big fan. Absolutely, I love him. I think he's charming, he's represented the old money novelties. But somehow, even he's been a huge jackass to women, I still like him. I have this wicked thought of maybe Big will hit off with Samantha. I kind of want to see how these 2 free spirits would definitely go wild. Maybe only end up with Samantha accusing Big of being needy, calling 24 hours, and just end up begging Samantha for stay longer. And just like what happened when Big was falling in love with that huge movie star, and he ended up whining and crying in Carrie and Aiden's cabin in a forest at that time. That was really funny to see Big is totally out of his head. So I really like that when Carrie is, being so calm and arranged Big's funeral all by herself. Just sort of like keep soldiering on and get things done. It fits her character as a writer who's supposed to be like deep and resistant disposition. But maybe that could be Carrie is still in the self-protective mechanism because she haven't fully accepted the fact that Big is gone. I admire that, but honestly, like the fact she put so much effort to make the funeral grand, it's a little bit make me feel uncomfortable. Of course, you're gonna showing up with your best self, like the cute black dress or the French hat, really elegant, and get her hair done, get her makeup as the meticulous way as possible. I mean, there's nothing wrong of being your best self, saying goodbye to your loved ones, especially saying goodbye to the can't live without lover. Okay, I'm just gonna be that bitch right now. She looks like she's screaming like, even my husband is dead, I'm still elegant and rich.
Emotional damage!
Later on, she scattered Big's ashes in Paris. Even his brother is repeatedly asked her like where he is. She wouldn't tell that she took Big's ashes to Paris, which is also the city Big met Natasha. I mean, girl, that's not a smart move. I mean, think about that. Big is someone who'd rather stay home than going to a weekend party. Like, how do you think she'll be happy to go to Paris? I used to think I don't really understand Carrie when I first watched the Sex and the City like 7 years ago. I saw her at this desperate romance who is ambitious and trying to climb the social ladders by marrying a much older and richer man. But after those years, after I wouldn't go through my personal life, like especially dating life, I kind of feel her. Like I felt her when on those bad dates. We're all Carrie at some point. Like we're these dreamers in this modern world. We are restless, adventurous. Maybe for some people, we're pretty reckless and sometimes look stupid. We always have this passion for life. I kind of see the bravery in her. I mean, I definitely don't hate Carrie. I don't hate this show. I mean, my goal after a hip surgery is definitely not getting back on heels. I really wish that was just her being sarcastic and witty, of saying, hey, I'm not old yet, but she seems pretty serious with the physical therapeutic thing. I'm like, okay, you do you, girl. I like that this season start to deal with the real stakes of this character getting old. And like for example, like Amanda has this midlife crisis that she's falling in love with gender blurry comedian Che. Of course I like him. He seems like really charming. Like at some point I feel like I can see why she's super attractive to him. But she decided to divorce Steve, and she hold his hands and say that, oh, this is just not enough for me. Steve's kind of relieved, I think. He's like, it's always been like this. Sometimes I'm enough, sometimes I'm not enough. You're right, the problem is not me, it's you. You need to figure out. I mean, my heart literally sank by hearing that. I see Steve as the only mature person in this show. Like, he is the one who's dealing with real problems. Like, oh, of course, he struggled for life for some degree. He always like trying to keep up, trying to be this good husband. And he's super sweet for me. I don't know, maybe a lot of girls hate Steve because he's not like really elevated person. But I really like him. I feel like he's real. And I really understand. He says, oh, I'm really tired. If I'm younger, I might fight for us, but I'm really tired. Not gonna do this time. I see a warrior like walk away from his final trophy or just go back to his piece and let her go. I mean, it's just really heartbroken because it seems like life is not getting better when they're getting old. Oh, you just get better at laughing at it. I kind of have a problem of Carrie keep texting Samantha. I mean, the media make it super clear that Kim is not coming back to the show. What's the point of the producer keep reeling her in? It's kind of getting the audience hopes up, unless they're playing a long game. Otherwise, I don't really see the point. Especially the last episode, Carrie is meeting Samantha for a drink in London. I mean, will that be the same Samantha? Will be another like Indian Samantha, or you know, just a totally different person. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully that's their way of give the audience a little hope. Okay, so much for today's episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it and help the silly YouTube algorithm discover my talent. Alright, so much for today. See you next time. Bye bye.